get going as some more people are joining. So thank you for joining the webinar today, everybody. We're going to be talking about Winston AI. It's obviously big topic at the moment around AI, and at Dotdigital we have made some developments to the platform to cater for AI as well. I'm Phil Holman. I'm one of the senior enterprise account executives at Dotdigital. So Winston AI, we've developed a cutting-edge marketing intelligence engine that sits within the Dotdigital platform now. So we have had AI, probably not in its current form, within the Dotdigital platform for many years. And with the rise of more AI tools, ChatGPT, we've also enhanced the integration with that and added more AI features into the platform. So kind of the three pillars of Winston AI and what makes up the marketing intelligence engine. We look at insights and analytics, so looking at things like predictive analytics, RFM, recency, frequency, monetary, personas, and also reporting for email. The kind of more modern sense of AI that we've integrated into the platform now is things around subject line assistance, email campaign assistance, a lot around copy assistance, essentially, which is taking advantage of ChatGPT, checking grammar, allowing you to easily convert campaigns to other channels like SMS and for web. So that is obviously more kind of modern sense of AI within the platform. Then we've got some other traditional kind of AI tools like send time optimization, which has been in the platform for a while, automated reputation management, so around your sender reputation and deliverability, and analyzing data from our watchdog when you import data into the platform. So this is now all under the umbrella of Winston AI, which is the actually copyrighted brand now for our AI tools. But it also does a lot more. So I'm going to try and cover those three pillars within the webinar today. But there's many more features that falls under the Winston AI brand now. So I'm going to dive in and show you some of these features. So just logged into Dotdigital. For those of you who are familiar with the platform, and we've got a lot of tools down the left-hand side. So I'm not going to go through absolutely everything today, but the first thing I'm going to focus on would be the analytics and insights. So feel free to ask questions as we go along within the chat, and we will answer questions at the end. So I'll go through all the questions and answer everybody individually on there too. So wanted just to kind of touch on some of these personas that we can create automatically using AI within the platform. First of all, just wanted to jump into a contact record in Dotdigital and just show you that we collect a lot of data within Dotdigital across all of your contacts. So wherever you see this little logo here, or you see Winston AI, that means it's powered by our AI tools. So this section here within the contact record is all Winston AI powered. So this is looking at the personas, which I'm going to go into a little bit more detail shortly, but this is surfacing persona data within the contact record. And this contact record is made up of loads of different data points. So for example, it's made up of sales data from like an e-commerce platform. It's made up of engagement data, and it's made up of other data points from like CRM and website. So we create a picture of that contact record in a single customer view, and we give you a timeline of everything that's happening in that contact record. And because we've got all that data from orders placed to website behavior to email behavior, that allows us then to create these different types of personas. So I can see my contact record at the moment. I've got some RFM, some recency, frequency, monetary score in here. So I'm a high potential um, contact. Um, I've got a purchase phase, which is lapsing, so there's a little bit of work to do there. We're actually predicting when the next order is likely to be from myself. So I'm actually probably not gonna buy anything again till Christmas, apparently, Christmas Day, believe it or not. I can see the churn risk and some other points. So all of this is powered by Winston AI. What this also allows you to do is, let's say that this was the ideal customer profile, or this is a good customer profile for your business, you can actually generate, you can use AI now to generate lookalike segments. So you can click this button, and this will actually pull um, the different points of what makes this contact record an ideal customer profile, and then will allow you to generate that segment straight from within the single customer view. So you can actually then create a segment and create a campaign around that ideal customer profile. So that's the kind of first AI tool that we've launched into the platform on there too. So I can actually see here I've got 11 other contacts which are similar to this contact. So I could create a campaign around those contacts, or automatically add them into automation as well when they become that ideal customer profile. So that's just a bit of an idea of how we're using AI within data. But digging further into the actual personas, so we've got a whole area now around personas. And again, anytime you see this this little logo, that means that it's powered by Winston AI, as you can see. So the first part of this would be RFM, so recency, frequency, monetary. So this uses our own algorithm to automatically split your database into these personas. So you've got champions, loyal, recent, high potential, need nurturing, and inactive, and it will give you a split of the number of customers that sit within that persona, the revenue, total revenue of that customer, average customer lifecycle value, average orders, average order value. So it gives you a split of, in real terms, how those different personas are performing within your business. And then we split these into tiles for you as well. And all the data that we give you in Dotdigital is all actionable. So for example, here I've got around 10% of my database here that's inactive. So what I can do is I can click here, and I can actually see all of those customers that are inactive within the database. And again, I can action that data. So I can create a segment of that data, which I can save, give it a name, and then I can actually run a campaign on those inactive contacts. So perhaps they'd be perfect for a discount code or to get along to an event. So that's really simple, kind of actionable data, but actually behind the scenes, quite a complex set of rules that makes up that RFM, which is all run by AI. So moving on, we also have things like persona movement. So then this will look at the same RFM, but we'll look at this over time. So you can actually see the persona movement over time on there. So I can actually see I've got different movements on this. So I've got actually got two contacts here that have moved from a high potential into a champion. So I could actually then action that data, I could create a segment off the back of that data, or I could actually automatically add that set of segments into an automation journey. And perhaps I want to reward these customers for becoming a champion, or perhaps I want to ask them for a review, for example. So that's a way that we can use this persona movement to our advantage. Similarly, I've got 319 contacts here that have moved from recent purchases to need nurturing. So then I could put them into an automation journey. So they've bought once, but they've not bought again, or they've been to one event and they've not returned to another event. So then I could action that data as well. This could all be customized, so you can actually customize a date range. So you could actually pick a date range between like a key time of the year for you guys. So maybe it might be Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It could be around for those B2B attendees listening in. Could be around event registrations. or other. And then we've also got the opportunities. So although the RFM is looking at real-time recency, frequency, monetary, and so actual data, opportunities is looking at a cross-section of all of your data and is predicting then when people are likely to either buy or engage. So this will then give you a holistic view of things like got most engaged non-customers. So I've got 4,000 customers here that are engaging with email campaigns, they're engaging with my website, but they're not actually a customer. So they're not buying, or they're not registering for events, or they're not signing up as a member. So then I can actually action that data here from here as well. So I can pull up those again, create a segment which I can do a broadcast campaign to, or I could simply automatically add those guys into automation journey to re-engage with them. So yeah, lots of tools here around AI, which is looking at ERFM is what we call it, which is predictive RFM on there too. So that is mostly around insights and analytics. We have extended this into reporting as well, where we've launched, once you sent campaigns, the likes of like heat mapping, which is classed as an AI tool. So actually looking at where people are clicking and readership across your email campaigns, and if you've got kind of video in campaigns and the like as well. So that is another kind of AI tool within the insights and analytics. So then a lot of this kind of insights and analytics AI has been in the platform for a while. We've now launched a lot around campaign assistance, which would be AI in its kind of modern sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an email campaign. I'm going to call this, I'll just give this a date actually on there. And the first screen you land on, for those of you who know Dotdigital, will be setting up the nuts and bolts of your email campaign. So things like subject lines, friendly from name, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in a subject line into here, which I've already created. At this point, you'd be able to obviously add any kind of personalization from data within your subject lines. But I've already written a subject line here, which is going to be hello, first name. It's going to be Discover Winston AI, the marketing intelligence engine. And then you'll notice you've got the AI logo here. So what we can then do now is click this AI logo, and this will give me some options from giving me feedback on my subject line, checking the grammar, I can change the tone of voice, I can change the length of that subject line, I can rephrase the text, and I can add emojis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Winston AI to actually feed back on that subject line that I've created. And what this then does is that looks at all of your previous subject lines, your previous copy within campaigns, and will give you suggestions straight from ChatGPT to improve that subject line. So here now you can see it's giving me lots of different suggestions to use with that subject line too. So that's one way you could use it. Mostly our customers are using it when they're doing split testing. So if they're split testing subject lines, friendly from, creative, or even the from address, obviously if you want to do kind of multiple different subject lines, it's going to take you a little bit of time to think of all those different subject lines. So if I wanted to do 3 subject lines, I could start with the original subject line copy that I've written. I could then ask AI to actually feedback and give me another subject line that I can use. So I'm going to use this subject line. Then I'm going to refresh this until I find another subject line that I'm interested in. I'm going to use that subject line here as well. Perfect. So now I've got really quickly and easily, I've got my 3 different subject lines ready for split testing. Could be that I want to try another subject line, and I actually want to maybe add emojis to that subject line. So what Winston AI will do is actually add the emojis in the right places for me. So I'm going to use that subject line, and then perhaps I actually want to change the tone of voice on this subject line here, and I want to make this more urgent, or perhaps I want to make it a little bit funnier or more educational. So I'm going to make this a little bit more urgent. And then again, Winston AI is going to rewrite that subject line and make that more urgent for me. Let's try some other options here. So making that more friendly. Obviously, it will pick up the personalization as well within the personalization tags that you've used. Some of the options will give you without personalization, some options with. So you just need to hit refresh if you want to get the personalized option on there, and then we can see change these different tones of voice as well. So I'm going to go back to making it more urgent on there too. I'm going to use this subject line. So that is some kind of more modern sense of AI tools using ChatGPT, and then we carried that through on into the editor as well. So I'll go to the next step on there, and then now in the Dotdigital editor, and again you'll see, obviously, for those of you who know Dotdigital, or for those of you who don't, it's all drag and drop, so you can pick these blocks up, you can drag and drop them around. So I could take this block, drag and drop this up to the top. Then I've got my different building blocks down the left from like content blocks, layouts, social tools, personalization, my product recommendations as well on there too. So then I can obviously change the layout of this campaign. So I could take this image, drag and drop it to the right, take this text, drag and drop it to the left. Now you'll notice again that the AI logo, Winston AI logo, is all over the template in different areas. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first area here, which is again the feedback assistant. So that's going to then analyze the entire campaign for me, and it's going to give me feedback and assistance on improving this campaign. So it's giving me, it's putting out some things. You know, my call to action could be more enticing. You know, it's actually giving me some more positive feedback. So the email is great use of visuals. So it's giving me like practical feedback and practical review on the campaign itself. And obviously you can continue to ask and get further feedback as well. Each section now has also got an AI AI copy rewriter as well. So again, you'll get the same options here that you get in a subject line. So you can check the grammar, change the tone of voice, change the length, rephrase, add emojis. So again, if I've not got a massive copy team and I'm actually writing copy myself, or marketing writing copy, then it's actually down to me to make sure that it's the right copy for within the campaign. I can then obviously use the tools to make this more change tone of voice, so make it more casual, funny, etc. And that will do that for me. Obviously, I've got Lauren Ipsum here, so it's not gonna come out very well, but I'm sure you guys get the idea. I think the obviously changing the length is quite important as well. So shortening the content or expanding the content. So obviously, if you've got too much content in a campaign, it can be quite frustrating. What do we include? What don't we include? Why not ask AI to do that for you? Or actually, if you're trying to think of a campaign, you've got a little bit of copy, but you need to expand on that, then you can obviously expand the copy as well. So these are all really useful tools. This is expanding this copy quite a bit for me now on there. So another tool that we've got in the platform now is obviously a lot of people know us for email, but we do other channels too. So we have SMS. We've done SMS for a very long time. We support these other channels as well down the left, as you can see, from like SMS, MMS, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. So what we've now done is we've given you the ability to convert this entire email into an SMS. If I click this link, it's going to look at all the copy within that campaign, and it's going to actually give me a short, snappy subject line, or should I say copy, and within SMS, which is shortened down so I can keep that down to the right character count for SMS. So that's just one click, convert that entire campaign into an SMS message, which is really useful. No excuse now for not doing SMS on there. So if I go back to my campaign, so actually I don't want to do an SMS campaign. Thank you very much, AI, but I think I'm going to continue with my email. Then we're going to go through the steps to create this email on there, and there's going to be a few more AI tools that pop up along the way to help us. So just doing all the best practice steps here, like generate a plain text version of this email as an example. And then we could do the testing and the inbox testing as well. And at this point, we're then going to be choosing our selections to send this campaign. So we could either send to a list that we have. So for customers that are using CRM, they might be like pre-cutting data in CRM and syncing that into Dotdigital as a list. For those of you who are integrating fully into Dotdigital with like an e-commerce platform, you might have all your data already pre-set up in segments. We also have marketing preferences as well, and you can use a combination of any of these. So in this example, I actually want to use everybody that I know as a customer on my e-commerce store. They're in a particular segment, but they also must have the opt-in for email, and actually they've expressed that their frequency is they want to hear from us every week, and they only want to hear offers. So we can do all of that in one place now, which is quite neat. And then at this point, we've got some different options for sending. So we could send this campaign immediately, or we could schedule it to go out. But then we've also got the AI feature here as well. So once you start sending campaigns from within your account, obviously I don't send from this account because it's a demo account, and this will activate the AI feature, and this will allow you to do send time optimization. So this will send the campaign based off the best time for each recipient. So we've actually built up a learning algorithm of every single one of your contacts, and we know when they're likely to open that email. So if they typically open their emails at lunchtime for B2B, or if they typically check their emails on their phone on the train on the way home, then hopefully we'll be landing in their inbox at the right time for that person. And that looks at a blended open and click value. We've made some changes. It traditionally just used to look at open, but with iOS 15 and changes to the ability to track open, we've blended that with open and click, so it's more accurate. So obviously we're keeping ahead of the curve within the industry changes as well. So there is other features here that you could consider AI, so like automatic split testing. It's not under the AI brand, so it's been in there for a while, but you can also do all your split testing automatically. So I could do those subject lines that I've created, and I could split test them to 10% of the database, give that a maximum soak over 24 hours. Maybe I want to measure the opens or the clicks. But that would be the kind of email campaign assistance AI tools that we've got in the platform. If I just go back to the content of this campaign as well, you'll notice that I touched on some of the other tools and content tools that we've got, the ability to build in Dotdigital. So you'll see here that we've got product recommendations here, and so we do have our own product recommendation engine, which has some AI features as well. So I'm gonna show you through that too. Some of you guys may also know that we recently made an acquisition at Dotdigital. So we acquired the UK's leading personalization platform, Fresh Relevance. So again, a whole host of AI tools within that platform where you can build personalized blocks, and they automatically sync over to Dotdigital as well. So that's another piece around AI that we'll be continuing to develop. But within the product recommendation piece, so we have the ability to synchronize product catalogs into Dotdigital. So that could be, so if you're using one of our integrations like Shopify or Adobe Commerce or BigCommerce, we automatically sync all of your products into Dotdigital. If you're like a non-traditional retailer, you're not even an e-commerce business, we're working with publishers to sync across articles, news, events from the website, absolutely anything that can be considered a content card, we can sync across into Dotdigital. So this is an e-commerce example on here. And yeah, these are the content cards that I've got synced from my snowboard store that I have on Shopify actually. And it's got an image, it's got all the details of that SKU, and this schema can be completely customized to you guys on there. And again, if you're pushing in things like articles or events, then obviously this would look completely different because you might have like a synopsis of that event or a description, not just traditional kind of e-commerce tags. But what that allows us to do then is that allows us to do recommendations. And you see here again, we've got the Winston AI logos popped up, and that then allows us to create recommendations. So some of these recommendations are not considered AI. Things like your bestsellers, these are automatically generated, but your bestsellers across your website, the ones that are trending across your site, and the most viewed products or articles across your website. But then there are ones that are considered AI, which would be lookalike products. So these are products that are traditionally look alike, but it doesn't just look at the image. So it looks at the image, color, type of product, but it also looks at the SKU and the details within that SKU. So if somebody's looking at shirts all the time on your e-commerce site, then we'll obviously recommend other shirts to them. It could be they're looking shirts in the same color, so we could actually then recommend shirts in the same color for them. Best Next looks at the entire database, so people who bought this also bought this, a bit like what Amazon do. So, if you're buying this shirt, actually people tend to buy this pair of jeans with this shirt on there too. And then we also look at a hybrid prediction as well. So this will then look at further down the line, so not just best next, but what people traditionally what buying path they go on when they buy that shirt, then they buy the jeans, and actually then they buy the shoes, and then they might buy the sunglasses. So that's looking at a hybrid prediction. But then we also do have other predictions, things like new in store, also bought together, and all of these you have the ability to create custom categories. So if you actually have an idea of what types of people you want to show what types of products, you can create all custom categories. Could be that you've got surplus stock and you want to push that stock, so you can create those as well. And each one of these that you create, you can create fallback products as well. So when you're creating the lookalikes, if that product's not in stock, for example, you can create a fallback product on there too. So I've created quite a few different recommendations. So I'm going to go back into my editor. So I've done my AI, I've done my campaign assistant, but now I actually want to do some product recommendations in there. So I'm going to bring in last viewed, which I've created. So this will then bring in a carousel of products that person last viewed. So maybe we call this something like handpicked products for you. And actually they'll start to see, oh, those are the products I was looking at online, or is my phone listening to me? People start asking themselves all those types of questions when you use AI, but it's just really good use of data. Your phone isn't listening to you at all. It's just really, really good use of data, and marketers are getting a lot more clever, and technology is getting a lot more clever. What's quite neat about this is that you can choose what you want to display on those on those product recommendations. So obviously you can choose like the layout, number of rows of products, how many products you want to display. So you might want to display like 8 products here on there. Actually just want to go for a row of 4 products. You could obviously change that into a list. So for e-commerce perspective, you probably want to have those in a traditional carousel. But if you're a publisher and you actually want to bring article recommendations in, it might be nicer to have them in a list. I'm going to go back to the carousel, and then I'm going to choose what fields I want to display. So do I want to display stock? So probably I do, because there's nothing more annoying than getting an email with some product recommendations or an offer, then you click through and the product's not in stock. So actually I could display stock. And when we have the fallback rules, when we build the product carousel, we could actually say if stock is less than 5, for example, show these products instead or show this product instead. So we can obviously set those rules up not to disappoint our customers. But yeah, so just being able to bring in like all of these different fields and meta tags from your e-commerce store is obviously really important for e-commerce retailers. But similarly, for a publisher that wants to bring in articles, what products do you want to display? And this will pull this through from your site via the API, so near enough real time. So if stock is changing all the time, if ratings are changing all the time, then obviously that data is coming to us in real time as well. And as I said, that's the kind of first step to like product recommendations. We'll be using our product recommendations, and then if that is working for you, then we could also discuss bringing in our other platform, which is Fresh Relevance, which then looks at, so we have around 7 or 8 product recommendations, and they have the ability to create infinite product recommendations, and they have around 70 plus standard ones as well. So lots of product recommendations here as well. So I've got like people like you also purchase similar browsers. I've got Black Friday banner. So it's not just product recommendations, but it's also creating banners and imagery and geolocation. But yeah, I could bring in some products on the or a banner on the Fresh Relevance side as well. So let's bring in these products here too. And then when I preview this, and these products will display at point of open. So when that campaign is opened, the products will render. So it really is kind of real time. And this is now going to show me to my contact record. I've got some product recommendations on there, which is the last viewed by me. Here's the snowboards that I last viewed. And I'm pulling through all that information. And then I've got other people who bought this also bought this from Fresh Relevance as well. And that's looking at people who bought these snowboard boots, also bought these socks, or also bought additional boots as well on there too. Perfect. So that is again AI tools within there. So that's a lot around content that we've covered. And then what I want to cover is some tools that we've got around deliverability and reputation management. And data importing and deduping, which is all run by an algorithm, which is now under the AI, the Winston AI brand on there. So obviously a very important subject. So first subject would be sender reputation. So we automatically review your sending reputation every single month, and we give you a report on your sending reputation. So we actually have different types of IPs at Dotdigital. So for those of you who've got really large campaign sends, so in the millions every month, then you probably want to go on a dedicated IP. So that's an option. And for those of you who don't warrant a dedicated IP, because a dedicated IP would mean that you'd have to be sending high volume regularly to keep in the good books of the inbox providers, the ISPs, and you might not have that volume. So in that case, we'd put you on different pools of shared IPs. So we've got 3 shared IP pools from a not so good IP pool, a neutral IP pool, and a very, very good IP pool. So we group you together with similar senders. So if you're a really good sender and you send really good content and you get a really good open rate and click-through rate, we basically will reward you in that respect by putting you with similar senders in similar industries who are doing similar good practices. If you are not so good a sender, and you're struggling with reputation, and actually we'll group you with similar senders to actually prop up you globally as a sender too. So just worth mentioning when you see this where it says bad sender, doesn't necessarily mean bad sender. It's worth mentioning that Dotdigital, well before somebody even thought the idea of GDPR, we were already um, flying the flag for a lot of the things that are now in GDPR. So not allowing purchase data in our platform for over 10 years, being really strict on targeting and making it clear for customers and recipients to unsubscribe. So actually our IPs are really, really strong. So even our kind of not so good IPs are actually a lot stronger than a lot of our competitors as well. So it's worth mentioning that. So if you get onto the very, very good IPs, then that's going to be extremely beneficial for you on there too. But yeah, so every month we'll basically put you into a different IP pool. So I can see that I started in a really good IP pool. I then gone into a neutral IP pool, and I'm predicted that I'm probably going to stay in that neutral IP pool. So what's going on? So actually, I've got some different points here where my open rate is pretty bad, to be honest with you. My click rate is okay, but I'm actually not getting complaints. My watchdog score is good. I'm not getting hard bounces or mail blocks. So I need to kind of improve these two things. So if you click through to here, this will give you advice on how to improve. So if you're just happy to read that through, but then you can also get in touch with our deliverability team. So everybody gets deliverability support as part of their license. So you can speak to a deliverability expert from a dedicated deliverability team, and they'll give you some practical advice to improve those scores. Then we can review it again the month after. So that is deliverability. So you might have seen this watchdog score here. So that's the next thing I'm going to cover. So any of you that know Dotdigital and they know our mascot, the watchdog, Winston the watchdog, which is now the face of AI. This was where the concept for Winston the watchdog came from, which is basically a tool that checks your data when you import data into Dotdigital. So every single import that you manually import, every single import that comes from an integration, or every new contact that signs up on your e-commerce store that becomes a customer and checks out on your e-commerce store, we basically check that contact against a global suppression list of contacts that we've built up over 25 years. So we basically know if it's a bad email address, or if it's somebody's typed in their email address wrong, or it's a spam trap. We'll basically know, and we'll give you a report on that data. So here's some data that I recently imported for my newsletter, and every single import will go through the watchdog, and it will let me know new contacts that I've imported or updated contacts, because we will dedupe, and then the contacts that have not been imported. And this will then break it down into those points for me. So I can see here, it's going to tell me dedupes, so duplicates. It's going to tell me people that previously unsubscribed. So it's not going to physically let me import those contacts so I don't become foul of GDPR. But it's also going to tell me things like ISP complainers. So contacts that are kind of known complainers with Gmail or Hotmail. So you probably don't want to import those guys. Mail blockers, domain suppressed. So lots of different tools here that's going to protect you as a sender with the ISPs too. But yeah, that's the importer on there too. So that will be worth mentioning on there. You do have the ability to run the global suppression list any time that you like as well. So if you did want to kind of, if you weren't importing data on all the time, and actually you just felt like you wanted to find out, how the health of your database, you can also run that whenever you like as well too. Cool. So that kind of brings me to the end of the kind of demo from that respect. So I'm just going to jump back into these slides. So we've done the demo. So want to leave obviously time for questions on there if there's any questions that have come through. But just to let you know that we do have more webinars coming up. So we've got so basically focusing on our features now. So that's the AI features. Obviously, there's loads more in the platform as you can see. So we're going to be focusing in on email on the 20th of March. So obviously, quite a big webinar, that one. We're going to be looking at cross-channel marketing on the 17th of April. Then we're looking at customer data and integrations on the 22nd of May, and personalization. So I've touched a little bit on personalization today, which is, can be AI driven, but that will be on the 12th of June for more on personalization. So I'd like to just, probably open up to questions on there. I think there's been some questions already put into the question box, which is great. Thank you very much. So I'm going to go through those one by one and I can answer those for you. So we've got the first question from Ben on there. And Ben's asking, can you define your own personas using data within the system? So yes, Ben, you can define your own personas. So I think you're referring to the RFM, the recency, frequency, monetary, or ERFM personas. So we've got a standard algorithm that's set already within the platform, and standard labels that are set within the platform for personas, as you would have seen. But all of those scores that sit behind those labels can be fully customized. And then you can also use what's called our contact scoring module to create your own personas. So you could create your own, I think we've got like champions, loyal, recent. You could change the naming of that and you could create your own personas on there too. Within the dashboards, unfortunately, you can still do all of the, if you rename your personas, you can still do all the things that I've showed you today, but within the dashboard reporting, unfortunately, you can't change the names of those personas, but you can change the scores that sit behind them. So they are customizable in that respect. So I hope that answers your question, Ben. Then we've got Sven. And he's asked, what kind of data do I need for B2B if there are no orders or purchase numbers on there? So for B2B, as I said, we're not just e-commerce focused at Dotdigital. We work with B2B, non-traditional e-commerce too. And in terms of data, so there's a mixed data that you can bring into Dotdigital, from CRM data, flat data, insight data, which is relational data. That could be anything from web behavioral data, could be, if you're a membership org, could be every single event that somebody's attended, or what types of membership packages they have. So you can store the flat data and the relational data within the platform. So as long as you're bringing in relational data into the platform, that unlocks a lot of the RFM and ERFM tools. But yeah, I mean, just think of an order as what is an order, what relates to an order within your business then, and you can bring that data in, because those relational data collections can be completely custom. I've got an insurance company at the moment bringing in every single quote that somebody has made. I've got B2B businesses bringing in every single event that somebody has attended on there too. So yeah, absolutely anything worth a conversation with me separately if you want to dig into the use cases for that. Sven's got another question. I want to use personas and opportunity insights for B2B use cases. What kind of data do I need? So similar order, similar question there. So yeah, so we just need to define what is trackable as an order or a subscription for your business. So we've already got the engagement data. So it looks at engagement and it looks at transactions. So we've already got the engagement, opens, clicks, web page views. Then we just need to collect a separate collection from you and which would be something we can define as success of a campaign. So that is that somebody booking an event? Okay, then we'll create that record alongside their contact, and then we can use the personas and all the dashboards. So we can do that. Sven's got another question. Thanks, Sven, for all questions. Yeah, so does Winston give feedback on text in other languages, or is it just English? Great question. So yeah, so the platform itself, the UI of the platform itself is available in all core languages. So as long as you change the setting of the account into the correct language, I think you said German. Yes, we support German. Then you'll get AI in German. So that's a pretty simple one for you. We also support all the encoding for all different character sets as well. So when you're actually sending email campaigns, you can send campaigns in any character set, even supporting Mandarin as well. So that is absolutely possible too. Perfect. Any more questions for any more? Oh, Sven said thank you. Thanks, Sven. Appreciate that. Feel free to reach out. Um, I'll we'll be sending the recording after with my details. So if you want to talk on that B2B use case, then please feel free to reach out to me. It is obviously more difficult, as you know, to track kind of success metrics and ROI within B2B, but we have ways of doing it. And as long as we can get a measurable metric that we can store in Dotdigital, whether that's an event registration or a membership purchase or whatever the case may be, depending on your industry, then all of these tools can be unlocked for you. Perfect. Well, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate your time. And we're going to jump off and we'll be sharing the recording of the demo after. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.